Hello there, my fellow notebook aficionados. This is the all-new Lenovo Yoga Pro 9i 16-inch, and like its smaller product we already reviewed, it is packed with everything and a little bit more to make for a great multi-purpose notebook. For our review, we have been able to test the sleek 16-incher with the whole lineup of Nvidia's entry-to-midrange GPUs. So this will not only give you some insight into what is on offer with the Yoga, but hopefully our video will help you decide which dedicated Nvidia RTX 4000 card is the right one for you. All the variants we have tested share of course the same chassis, which is also available in this awesome teal color we had on hand during our early hands-on a few months ago. As was the case with the 14-inch Yoga Pro already, all of our review units came with a pretty sweet mini LED display, refreshing at 165Hz and can be yours with or without touch functionality. Our middle-of-the-road RTX 4060 config is aided by 16GB of fast LPDDR5X memory and Intel's i7-13705H, while both our RTX 4050 and the RTX 4070 Yoga made the jump to the i9-13905H, with the former getting an upgrade to 32GB of memory and the high-end SKU doubling it once more for a whopping 64GB. There is no difference in storage and all three Yogas are equipped with a 1TB NVMe SSD. Externally, there's not a lot to complain about the Yoga. The chassis looks clean, the hinges are well adjusted and overall stability is excellent, apart from the base plate which seems to be a little too thin to prevent flexing and also emits some pretty annoying creaking noises in one of our samples. The port situation is a bit of a head scratcher in comparison to its smaller 14-inch sibling. Lenovo exchanged one of the USB-Cs for a regular power connector, so you are left with only the Thunderbolt 4. The HDMI is also limited to the 1.4B standard, meaning you can only drive 4K displays with a maximum of 30Hz, which is quite the bummer in 2023. Both USB-As, one on the right, one on the left, are also just 3.2 Gen 1, so there's more potential left on the table for the larger Yoga. It is quite a shame, since these could have been great options for the traveling creators, and having fast and full-featured I/O options is a must when working with lots of external drives and large amounts of data. And the story unfortunately continues with the SD card reader, and while it's great to have a full-size option, transfer rates are once more average at best. On the bright side, the Lenovo offers speedy wireless transfers, and as we have seen on the 14-inch model already, the camera bump might break the clean appearance slightly, but it houses a very capable 5-megapixel webcam that shows the competition where it's at for your virtual communication needs. Beneath the flimsy base cover you got access to a pair of NVMe slots and the fans for cleaning duties, while both the Wi-Fi card and the exceptionally fast RAM are soldered to the motherboard. Regarding inputs, the 16-inch Yoga trades a cleaner layout for a numpad, and this one offers the same snappy feel we already liked so much in its smaller brother. The touchpad offers once more a very generous overall surface area, but unfortunately the same cheap sounding clicks as the Pro 14. And as with almost every Lenovo that comes with a numpad, it's offset to the left, which personally drives me nuts. But you get used to it at some point. I hope. In the display department we are greeted with an excellent mini LED panel, and while overall brightness numbers cannot quite keep up with the smaller Yoga, around 550 nits in SDR and above 1100 nits in HDR are still excellent results. In SDR, the mini LEDs once more behave like a traditional single-zone backlight, which may reduce the overall contrast, but also circumvents any blooming or weird color shifts on the desktop or applications, like we have seen on mini LEDs without that option. In stark contrast to its smaller sibling, the 16-incher came much better calibrated out of the box. And while Lenovo missed the advertised delta E below 1, our measured deviation of 1.4 is still excellent, making this one a great fit for everybody working in either design, photo or video editing. Naturally, color gamut coverage is very good as well, and while the display profiles for Adobe RGB, Rec 709 or sRGB might be a bit hidden in Lenovo's Vantage software, they are still very welcome for when you have to limit colors for certain color grading workflows. While the Yoga Pro 14 only had to deal with PWM below 70% display brightness, the 16-inch variant showed a consistent 5800Hz in our measurements. This is a pretty high frequency, so even if you do have problems with flickering displays, it should hardly matter with this one. Alright folks, let's kick things off in the performance section with the CPU. Our numbers are pretty interesting since we observed some peculiar things here. While going from the i7 in our RTX 4060 SKU to the i9-13905H in the RTX 4050 variant we have tested netted us a minor but measurable performance increase, the RTX 4070 sample embarrassed itself a little with way below average results. We double checked our numbers here and even asked Lenovo for a second unit to confirm our measurements. And it seems like this is a general problem with the high-end configuration for now. If this was done on purpose in favor of the faster GPU or if it's a software problem, we cannot tell you right now, but we will update you on that as soon as we learn anything new. In our PC Mark tests, the RTX 4050 SKU can deliver very impressive results despite the much slower GPU, and the 4070 variant is once more severely limited by its lackluster CPU performance, while the i7 can hold its own between the two. But let's finally get to the GPU side of things. All three Nvidia chips perform with a maximum of around 100 watts, and therefore should offer very competitive performance, not only compared to devices with a similar creator all-purpose focus, but also when put into perspective with full-fledged gaming notebooks. While those might offer higher power targets on paper, the RTX 4050, 4060 and 4070 do not scale very efficiently, if at all, with more power. As a direct result, the 4070 and 4060 perform exceptionally well in our 3D Mark rating, and even the RTX 4050 can get pretty close to some low wattage 4070s found in the Samsung Galaxy Book or the latest XPS 17 for example. If you are into heavier content creator applications that favor GPU acceleration, like video editing in Resolve 18 for example, or anything CGI related like Blender, the RTX 4070 can set itself apart significantly, while the difference between the 4050 and 4060 are not that apparent. That said, while the bigger ADA cards share their 8GB memory config, the entry-level RTX 4050 only gets 6, which will limit your possibilities in video memory intensive applications and games at some point. Before we continue with our regular content, here's a quick message from our sponsor. NVIDIA Studio program is here to help accelerate all of your content creation needs, with dedicated drivers being vigorously tested for compatibility and reliability in almost all applications being used in various fields throughout the professional industry. And of course, they're powerful silicon for a healthy dose of GPU acceleration. The new mobile RTX 4000 cards come with exclusive hardware features that you will not find anywhere else on the market, and notebooks with Team Green's dedicated GPUs come in all shapes and sizes. Are you looking for something super portable to enter the world of content creation? Or maybe you're a student and need something affordable or something you can lug around campus without breaking a sweat? RTX 4050 or 4060 equipped notebooks can easily handle your first steps in photo editing or graphics design, and can even get you started in CGI or video editing. With dedicated tensor cores for AI accelerated features in Adobe's Creative Suite for example, or hardware encoders for your high-res video footage, even the entry-level chips will give you a solid performance boost. Craving something faster? Well, with the efficiency gains in the latest GPU generation, you can even find 4070s in super sleek chassis for some pretty insane do-it-all performance machines. Or dial it up to 11 with even 4090s being fit into 14-inch notebooks. Or are you the on-the-go pro looking for the ultimate mobile workstation? Well, both the RTX 4080 and especially the 4090 will provide desktop-level performance for almost anything you can think of, for filmmakers, video editors or CGI artists. If you want to learn more about NVIDIA Studio program and for a complete list of supported applications, please follow the links in the description below. And if you want to get shopping right away, our German retail partner Alternate got you covered, and you can find a list of available studio notebooks down there as well. And now let's get back to our review. Speaking of games, in our 1080p rating, the underperforming i9 hampers the RTX 4070 quite a bit. So if you do not plan to play demanding titles or focus on faster esports games anyways, the added cost for the 4070 is not worth it at all. The RTX 4050 is also not that far off, since it's boosted in turn quite a bit by the faster CPU, and is therefore also a very good option for the more casual gamers amongst you guys. If you, however, plan to game in QHD or even the native resolution of the Yoga's 3.2K display, and if you are into the latest, more demanding games, the 4070 will show its siblings where it's at, as is shown in our Cyberpunk and F122 comparisons. As always, if you want to dive deeper into the performance quirks for all variants of Lenovo's flagship Yoga we have tested, I have linked all of our written reviews in the description below. So please feel free to check those out once we are done here on YouTube. In terms of fan noise, I only have the RTX 4070 variant on hand for our noise samples. But judging from our measurements for both the 4050 and 4060 models that netted us almost the same behavior, you should expect pretty much the same across all SKUs here. As always, I included a speaker test as well, and as with the 14-inch variant already, the Yogas might be one of the best sounding notebooks on the market right now. Battery life tells almost the same story here as well, with around 6.5 hours in our standard Wi-Fi test with the display set to 150 nits. So the choice between the i9 or i7 CPUs will at least not affect your time away from the wall. So can the 16-inch variant of the Yoga Pro 9i deliver the same amazing overall impression as its smaller 14-inch sibling? Well, yes, and also no. On the surface, we get the same subtle looking chassis and amazing display. But beneath the surface, some corners have been cut in a way we simply do not understand. The creaky bottom panel, distracting from the overall excellent build quality, the downgraded I/O options, loud fans for a device of this class, and the very weird performance behavior for the i9 and RTX 4070 combo left us feeling a little hesitant to recommend the 16-inch Yoga as wholeheartedly as the 14-inch model. That said, both the RTX 4050 for when you need a capable machine with a fast CPU and a decent graphics card for creator work and some casual gaming, and the RTX 4060 being the absolute sweet spot for the 16-inch Yoga, deliver a great overall performance impression. At the same time, the 4070 is really only recommended if you need a fast but subtle gamer for all the latest games or a proper workhorse in GPU accelerated applications. But please folks, let us know what you think. Sound off in the comments below. This shall be it for today. Make sure to leave your like and sub on your way out, and for more things tech and laptops, check out some of our latest videos or head on over to our website. Thanks a ton for watching. My name is Alex, you have been absolutely fantastic, and I cannot wait to see you all in the next one. Take care.